the power of networking and mentorships. Right? You guys can make a nominal investment into it and then turn that investment into passive cash flow. This would be an event for people that might be brokers, dealers in the banking space. But in all honesty, that print the most money in the planet, right? You will never, ever beat the labels until you're involved in the monetization game. They have all type of finance networking events, but they're very specific to finance and how you manage your finances. Mentors are incredible people to have, but they typically come in with a very macro mentality of the overall machine that you're building. And I will see you on the other side. What up? What up? What's going on to all my mogul makers? Your boy, Mr. Mogul Maker himself, is back here for another video. I want to discuss with you guys today about the power of networking and mentorships, right? The power of having great advisors. This is an underserved topic for sure. And not only this is just a general populace, but also in my own community. There's a lot of us that want free information, but at times this information doesn't come all the way for free. So famously, Benjamin Graham, who was also the mentor to a very famous and arguably the most successful investor named Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett actually went to him going fresh into college. And that's that time of their meeting. Ben Graham asked Warren Buffett, how much would you charge me to work for me? And Warren said, I'll work for you for free if you can teach me what you know. And Benjamin Graham's reply is, you're overpriced. Again, that's understanding the value of time and effort commitment, but also understanding the value of what you can get out of an amazing mentorship. And then again, of course, because of the mentorship of Benjamin Graham, Warren Buffett then goes on to become arguably the greatest investor in modern day history. All right. So again, just to kind of emphasize a little bit more about why that's so significant for us, why it's so significant that we need to seek this stuff out. But at times, of course, because you're not getting it out of the public school system, you're not going to get it out of a public school system that is designed to turn you maybe a low-level employee, right? Access to insights and trends. This is what mentors provide. This is what networking provides. You're going to build relationships. And then, when you get to the point where you start realizing that relationships are more important than any type of money that you could ever make, than any dollar figure you can imagine. It's like in the neighborhood, we call people that rob the plug, they're like buffoons. Why would you rob the plug? Keep the relationship with the plug, because there's an indefinite way to make money. So essentially, we don't like people that rob the plug around here. Like not where I come from. You find opportunities. Listen, when you're out networking, there are things that people know about that frankly you just don't. You're not aware of it. You don't know where it's at, where it's coming from, where it's going to. But when you have the luxury of having the relationships, again, you establish those relationships by networking. You kind of get informal support and like camaraderie. You find your tribe, right? You get guidance and you get this experience and expertise. You get the insight of different people that they've been places that you haven't been before, but you guys are all in communion at the same events and same places and whatnot for some similar reasons, right? And again, you just kind of expand on your network, and your network is your net worth. And again, I'm sure a lot of us have heard this before, but I want to go into the science of how all of this is. And then also about how you can utilize and leverage your network to accelerate your growth. All right. So let's get into this. The importance of networking and capital raising, the importance of it, building trust with someone. You can, get the relationships, again, like I was saying, that really are essential to funding. I'm going to go over some conferences in different locations you guys can go to, websites and everything in this video. So make sure you stay tuned, of course. You get to access opportunities. You get access to opportunities in places that honestly you never realized were even there. So just an example, I went to the Consumer Electronics Conference in Las Vegas, and I got in tune with scooter developers, the electronic scooters. And I realized that this trend was going on and it was kind of going this direction, but they were at this conference. And I come to find out they were actually the manufacturers. These manufacturers were already light years ahead of everyone else because they actually had the facility to put everything together. And a couple thousand people in the room, but that opportunity served me an opportunity to get into that business. Fast forward to right now, and I'm not in the scooter business in that respect. Fast forward to right now, from similar networking opportunities with respect to scooters comes a new founded company that I've been blessed to partner with called Scootly. And I'll show you guys some dope opportunities with Scootly coming up pretty soon in some of my future videos. But there's methods now that the scooter business is on autopilot, basically. You guys can make a nominal investment into it and then turn that investment into passive cash flow from other people using scooters. Since when did Uber give you that type of opportunity, right? It's called profit sharing. It's amazing, right? And when you see these opportunities, but that all came from networking. You don't get these type of opportunities simply because they're being advertised, because not all opportunities are even made for the general public. And again, so it becomes like knowledge sharing. You start sharing different knowledge amongst one another. I went to the securities conference in Vegas one time, and it confirmed a lot of my would-be suspicions about the securitization process, which again is why I'm so astute when it comes to a lot of the funding and high-level finance, is because I've actually worked alongside of these people, banking conferences, and you get to meet people from the capital markets division. You get to meet other people that are inside of the money markets division, some of the wealth management people, and you get to have a real candid conversation, because the conference isn't while they're in office. They're kind of on but off the clock at the same time, right? So, and let me give you guys a couple conferences actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, banking and finance conferences. SF Vegas, it's kind of like the largest capital markets conference focusing in on structured finance. So this goes on in Las Vegas. I believe it's coming up June or maybe closer to August, but look up the SF Vegas. I'll have a link for you guys below in the description, so you guys can look up this conference. And if you guys want to attend, again, let me know. I'm in Las Vegas right now, and I will be for the next few months, specifically to attend some of these conferences. The Banking and Transformation Summit. This goes on in London. And again, this is another beautiful thing about networking and going to conferences and trade shows and these different meetings. This is the reason I travel. I'm not the leisure type guy all the time. I'm sure there's people that probably be pretty upset about me never taking a vacation, but when I do travel, it's mostly business related. But again, just attending the Banking Transformation Summit in London, England, out in the UK. What is it? It's more like a gathering of 2,500 banking professionals discussing industry innovations. How would you like to be one of those people inside of that conference discussing those innovations? Meaning you're going to be in a very small knit group of people that are at a conference that are explaining what is to come from banking. And this is how we all stay ahead of the curve. This is the reason why people like myself can tell you leading information. It's because I'm actually sitting down with the people discussing it, right? BAFT Global Annual Meeting. This goes on in DC. It's a premier event for transactional banking professionals. So this would be an event for people that might be brokers, dealers in the banking space, but this is definitely a dope event. And those of my people that are actually in DC, look up these type of events and conferences and book your tickets. Now, quick hack with getting into conferences, become a media outlet. When you do media, oftentimes they will allow the media to get into these events for free. Don't tell me don't ever say that I didn't do nothing for you. All right. Set up your media outlet, come with your media passes, and then get free access to all the events you can imagine. Securities and securitization conferences. And these type of conferences are important is because these are the type of conferences, in all honesty, that print the most money in the planet, right? Is it any wonder why securities, which is private money. And let's be very clear about that. There is a difference between public money and private money. For all my people that are in the commercial lifestyle movement, you understand what I'm talking about. But securities, when you're drafting up a UCC1 financing statement with a security agreement, that is an actual private money. Now, how you monetize it, you guys are going to have to come to the class for that. But again, securities enforcement, Forum West, there's that is actually done in Beverly Hills. It's a one-day conference with the SEC officials and legal experts. Again, this is also great for compliance. Like, this is just an amazing event to be at for compliance sake. What is it? The ABS conference. There's another one coming up here in 2025. I think this one focuses on niche assets like data centers and music royalties and securitization. All my music people should be attending this. If you are not attending the ABS conference, Esoteric ABS conference in 2025, again, this is focusing on the data centers and music royalties and securitization. So this is securitized utilizing music contracts. I say these things sparingly because, I've tried to work with other music professionals, and it's the aspect of them not realizing that their contract is being monetized and why they will never get ahead until they get into the monetization game. You will never, ever beat the labels until you're involved in the monetization game. You should attend these conferences, guys. So let me explain also how you find some of the more local networking opportunities. So, kind of event platforms. Look, if you guys are not in tune with Eventbrite, get from under the rock you're under. Eventbrite has so many events, and it's not just for like live local concerts. They have all type of finance networking events and all types of things that are being listed right there on Eventbrite. Take a look at some of those things that are happening locally in your own towns. You're going to find some pretty interesting things in your local area. And again, you can just put in the topic, the location, and a date range, and you guys should be pretty fine at finding out what the heck's going on right around you. All right. Meetup. These you can join the groups of related finance startups and entrepreneurship. So meetup.com, I believe it is. Again, I'll have these links and everything for you guys below. Network Vegas, official Las Vegas business event calendar. That is for anything going on in Las Vegas. And there is tremendous amounts of things going on here in Vegas. I am here locally in Las Vegas right now, and I'll probably be here for a few months. I'm working on a new podcast called Mind Your Money. Please mind your money. Don't mind everybody else's money. Get the hell out of people's business. Mind your money. All right. The Mind Your Money podcast is definitely on the way, and my team and I are working diligently to bring that to life for you guys. Here's another thing. Local organizations. I said this on another video. Chamber of Commerce. Get down with the Chamber of Commerce. Go to the Chamber of Commerce. They host events. They put on events, and then they also will let you know about other events and stuff that are listed with them. Workshops that they've got. And then especially for my community leaders. If you guys are true community leaders, please tie in your stance as an activist, the way that you like to get involved with the community. Please work with the Chamber of Commerce, and then also my entrepreneurs and business owners. Work with your local Chamber of Commerce so you guys can start working together. It's a great networking hub for everyone. Small Business Development Centers, SBDCs, they provide resources and events for entrepreneurs. Small Business Development Centers, again, they are locally just about everywhere. And if they're not within your area, do 100-mile range SBDCs that you guys can find, and you will see how much of an impact this can have to your bottom line and your overall business. All right, just a quick pro tip. Attend these events regularly, like to build and maintain relationships. And actually what we have in our group, in our company, we have a person designated for business development, the biz dev executive. We have that person on our team who handles biz dev. That's the one who is typically, or myself as the CEO, at times I'll step out to these events as well. But of course I have to focus on being more of a face for the company and a spokesperson on behalf of the company. But a lot of that networking, that web that we end up creating is because of the consistent attendance to a lot of these events. So prepare a concise pitch. Get your pitch decks ready, guys. Get your pitch decks ready. Men, women, ladies, get your pitch decks ready. Have the pitch, get your elevator pitch. It's the 10-second, 11-second elevator pitch. Then actually have your pitch deck ready that is so interested in your idea, they want to make an investment. Imagine that, right? Right at an event, you guys meet somebody that falls so much in love with you. We don't need to be trying to meet people at a nightclub, y'all. That is not where the business is going down. Golf course, maybe. Golf course, yes. Get your golf skills together. I'm working on mine now. I've got a friend of mine in Arizona that is helping me with my skills and keeping me abreast of the game. And soon I will be on that golf course. But go to the places where people are networking and some of the more accelerated people are attending. Let me tell you a little bit about the power of mentorships as well. So you have networking, you have mentorships and advisors inside of your organization, right? The mentors are often a very macro person on your team, and they usually have a lot of personable influence in your life. Your mentors are people that can deconstruct everything that you feel like you put together, and they can explain to you in a very macro form of how to accelerate everything. A lot of times you have advisors that are very specific to specific topics. You might have a financial advisor, but they're very specific to finance and how you manage your finances, right? Where you should put what percentage you should put into your investments, what percentage should be your actual overhead, how much revenue that you're working with, and blah, 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 right? Very specific to that. So let's not confuse mentors with advisor. Again, mentors are incredible people to have, but they typically come in with a very macro mentality of the overall overall machine that you're building. They'll let you know if, hey, you might not need a publicist right now. In fact, you might want to concentrate on somebody bringing in sales. But then you need a sales advisor, somebody who can help you build out the entire team. They know a sales process in its entirety. They understand how to strategically put things together, right? So mentors, just like accelerated mentors and advisors, it kind of accelerates your learning. They have a lot of them have firsthand experience. And let me go into the education aspect of this too. This is why formal education doesn't always meet the quota when it comes to impact in your life, right? You kind of give somebody the ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, but then from there, you start to require specialized knowledge, like specialized information. And unfortunately, schools can't master the art of specialized knowledge on all fronts. It would be too many avenues for people to go down, for any, educational system to go down. And now, I do think things like personal credit, balancing your checkbook, and these other things should be a set topic because it's something that applies to all of us. But yeah, again, even if you go to school for sales, does that necessarily mean that you actually have the experience of a seasoned sales veteran? Not really. And the seasoned sales veteran, I don't care if he's been to school or not. That's who I want my advisor to be. The person who has an actual track record, a proven performance, and actually has the chops to show me what it is when it is what it is, right? Like, I don't want the advice of someone who does not have true experience. It's like that in every aspect of my life personally. So for example, I don't have a Western-based doctor tell me holistic preventative medicines. That is not the person for me to that's even qualified to tell me that information. And again, I love all my medical professionals out there, but again, when you're being trained from a training manual to treat people and not to prevent things from happening, then I have two different perspectives of how those things are supposed to work. So I might go to a more holistic Eastern-based doctor or scientist for that matter, versus now if I have trauma, if I have an immediate experience, if I broke my arm, then I need to go Western. That Western doctor understands how to treat those traumatic experiences and those things that happen and to get you back patched up. But then we'll put you on a treatment so you stay relying upon them indefinitely. So anyway, mentorships and advisors. Let's think about some online resources that you guys can utilize. And this is just the basic stuff that's right in your face, right? So I don't want to take you guys totally offline, but with the online stuff, again, LinkedIn is amazing. I have found every banking partner and every finance colleague that I could imagine in that world of profession, just about all over the globe, right there on LinkedIn. You have to search by titles, you have to search by keywords and phrases, but I found just about everybody, right? Found just about everybody. Facebook groups, for those of you that have been inside of Facebook groups, I think you guys understand the value what that is. I think they're a little watered down. Reddit, Reddit, everybody has the mask on in Reddit, and they are telling everything. You hear me? So Reddit is a very impactful place, and I think it's kind of like the bridge right before you get to the underworld. But Reddit is definitely a place where you're going to see a lot of people in finance, investing, banking, wealth management, everything. There are a lot of those people are on Reddit. So spark a conversation with somebody. The Financial Planning Association, that's another great place for networking and events and resources for finance. So just do a Google search on the Financial Planning Association, and you will see some opportunities to start networking with some of these people. Let's talk a little bit more about the how to find the right mentor and advisor, right? How do you get a mentor, an advisor? So first, just start out by leveraging your existing network of people. Look, if you come from where I come from, then you don't want none of those suckers to be your mentor. None of them to be your advisor. I come from the east side of Long Beach. I grew up in the 90s. All right. There's a lot of people that I didn't want to be my mentor, that they were my mentors at one time. They were my advisors at one time. But again, we was all crashing out. All right. So be mindful of your environment and who you decide to be your mentor. That is a choice that you make. You both make that together, but that's a choice that you make. But again, depending on whatever your circumstances are, leverage colleagues, professionals, leverage the colleges, industry acquaintances if you're in a certain industry, right? And get with people that truly have a good meaning for you, that really understand not only your vision, but they want to see you do well, right? There are mentorship platforms. SCORE, it's a nonprofit organization offering free business mentorship services from experienced professionals. I will have the link below, but check out SCORE. Mentor Cruise connects members, mentees, and mentors in various fields, including startups and finance. Again, I will have this link for you guys below. And then Founder Institute, it provides a structured program with access to a global network of mentors and advisors. And then again, just attend industry events. If you're in the music industry, attend the industry events. It's not like they used to be. We used to have the Impact Convention. It was one of the biggest DJ conventions that used to go down like twice a year. The last one I went to was too long ago for me to mention my age, but it was in Miami. But now you have too much violence inside of the industry. So, but if you're in tech, if you're in beauty, if you're in science, if you're in research and development, if you're into electronics, there's something for you for sure without all the violence. Join professional associations. Again, Chamber of Commerce is a great association. Try to network what you can from those places on out. Build and maintain mentorship relationships, right? You want to start building those now. I'm 46 years old and I still have mentors, some of them that are actually younger than me, right? Some that are much older than me. I've got a mentor that's 88 years old now, and I still call him to this day, especially when I run into a problem that is beyond my scope of view. They've got so much wisdom and so much information. I've got mentors in their 70s and 60s and 50s and others in their 40s and a couple of them in their 30s. Just really, really sharp individuals, and I lean on them with my life and livelihood. Seriously. When you're dealing with a mentor, if you're even entertaining a mentor, be very, very clear about your goal. Extremely clear about your goal. Make sure that whatever your goals may be, have a very vivid imagination of what you want. So this might take some time for you to carve this out. You might need to spend some time thinking about it, praying on it, meditating on it, and everything else. You might need to spend some time on that just so you can have a very clear-cut vision. They say that the master will appear when the student is ready. I believe that the student is ready when they have a clear, vivid imagination of where they're going. All right. And that's something that I really require, especially from my mentorship to others. I need to know what we're doing, where are we going, in order for me to help you chart your course and show you what lies ahead of you. Then, it's difficult to do that when you don't know what you're doing, or you might not know what you're doing, but you don't know where you're going, right? Show appreciation. Listen, where I'd like to be. I don't need the additional headache of someone telling me something about the time that I'm devoting towards them being something that's getting on their nerves. Well, great. So we both don't have to waste our time anymore, right? Because time is my most valuable asset. What I do with my time and who I do it with means everything to me. All right. Listen, I hope this helps you guys. We have a new academy that we're opening up called the Mogul Maker Academy. We are on the precipice of this new journey, and I'm really excited about it. If you guys are looking for coaching, mentorship, when it comes to your entrepreneurial journey for all stages of raising capital, right? Of course, credit repair, credit building, funding, solutions. But what about the structure of your company? What about protecting your assets? What about knowing what to acquire? That's what we're here to help you with. And I want to be as much engaged as I can with you guys. And I've made myself available to you guys through the Mogul Maker Academy. Again, the link will be below in the description. I hope you guys like and subscribe, and I love you guys to death. Your boy, Mr. Mogul Maker, is out, and I will see you on the other side.